Okay, do a bit of a reading here from one of the Death Knight books. That's the next series coming out on audio from Michael Chatfield. Working on that right now. It's 5 books that he's putting together as one. And here's a little bit from book 2 with our 3 main characters are Isla, the Dark Elf, Anthony, the Death Knight himself, and Tommy, the gnome who is escorting them. Okay, here we go. Maybe you could have put on a better show, Isla asked as they were at the rear of the group. Better show of what? Eating? I just get it all over my bones and then in my boot. Ugh, boot dinner. I might be undead, but I have standards. Anthony tilted his head up to the sky, just in time to get hit by a low-lying branch, knocking him backwards, only just able to stay in his seat as Tommy and the guide, taking them to Salinas, looked back. See? Always remember to wear a helmet when riding. Safety first, Anthony recovered. Tommy sighed, and the elven guide went back to ignoring them. Damn, did I dent it? Anthony asked, touching his helmet. Just try and be a bit more low-key, could you? I'm pretty sure that the guide already thinks something is wrong with you. Death Knights aren't exactly welcomed company. I am an upstanding Death Knight. Anthony sounded hurt. A number of responses went through Isla's mind before she closed her mouth, unable to pick one. It wasn't much longer that the forest was starting to thin out and more sunlight was getting through the canopy. The guiding elf coughed as Isla looked up front where the tree line ended and a city could be seen in the distance. We've arrived at Eni. This is where I leave you, she said. Thank you for guiding us. Isla touched her head and saluted the elf. As is my duty, the elf responded with the same salute. The guide turned and headed back into the forest as Isla got a closer look at the city Eni. There was a wide variety of people of all different sizes working the fields that had to be 2 or 3 times the fields that circled Laisa. So, this is a beastman town, she asked. A lot of them are bigger than humans and the other races, and they require more food, Anthony said, noticing her looking at the fields. They're alchemists. Should have the compound I require, Tommy said, looking at the town closer. Compound? Oh, did I say that out loud? Tommy just laughed awkwardly and then averted his eyes, not answering her questions. Let me know when the Gnominator is done, Anthony said. Of course! You gave me so many great ideas. Tommy had a wide, almost crazed smile as he patted the burlap sack filled with parts and components. Isla, even with all of her studying, didn't know what they could possibly create. Come on, then! Anthony let out a high-pitched squeaking whistle. Really isn't the same without lips. Those in the nearby fields were looking over at them as they walked out of the tree line. Anthony waved to them in greeting. Isla, with her far sight, was able to see the panic on the farmers' faces when they saw the trio. One of them dropped to all fours and ran off through the fields, getting the attention of a wandering group of soldiers. Looks like we'll have company soon, Isla said. The runner waved in their direction, talking to the soldiers. They followed the runner back at a jog, heading directly for them. I don't have a good feeling about this, Isla said in a sing-song voice. I'm really close to the beastmen. I had some really close beastmen friends, Anthony said. Isla didn't feel any more confident with his words. They continued forward, and more patrols appeared. There was a group of beastmen soldiers on the walls of the city as the farmers all moved back. Who fights today? Anthony said when the group was in earshot. The beastmen all leveled their weapons with the group. Get off your beast and put down your weapons, the leader yelled out. That went well, Isla said. I'm pretty sure that is the general greeting, Anthony said. Stop talking, the leader gestured with his spear as the tribal tattoos across his body started to surge with power. The other beastmen also ready themselves for a fight. "We're just passing through. We don't want any trouble." Anthony kept his hands up and visible.
A human comes into Beastman territory, and they don't want trouble.
One of the guards let out a snort and pawed the ground. "Guess he's got a rather lot of warthog heritage," Isla thought, looking at him.
"All humans have to be questioned and identified,"
the guard captain said. His eyes turned to Tommy and Isla. "Okay, very well," Anthony said. He slowly got down from Ramona. "Thank you for letting me borrow your mount," Anthony said, looking at Isla. "No problem," Isla said. "What does he mean by that?" She looked relaxed on the outside, but inside felt he was plotting something. And that's enough for now. This should be out pretty soon. Should be finished with this by the end of this month, and we move forward. Thanks, guys.